At the moment, the code which you see has the list item populated in the app.js itself. Ideally, this is also not a very common way of writing the code. You always have maybe a product component or a list item component. At the moment, I'm not making a products component inside which we have individual product component, but at least I can make a list item component just to show you that this particular thing, that is the li and all, how we can convert it into a kind of component and loop through the data. So the data which we have here will be passed as props. So every item will be displayed as a part of component. So let me just open the project explorer here. So here in the src folder, we create another folder saying components, and inside the component folder, I can create, let's say, list item.js. So this is the component which will display individual list item. So I'm going to create the component saying const list item, and at the end certainly I'll export it. So I'll say export default list item component, and this is going to return the JSX. The JSX we are going to return is just a list item. So I'll say division end. Now if you observe here in the app.js, we have this li. Li will have the product name to display, and the rendered list item will be part of this particular map method. So here I'm just going to say props, and inside the li I'll have props dot, for example, let me just say data, and I end the li here. Now if I'm going to pass just product name, I'll say pname, for example. Here in the app.js, now we are going to import the list item from the respective path. So I'll say dot slash components slash list item. So we'll import this component, and instead of li, now I can say list item. So this is a better approach. In this small example, you may find that this is little weird, but as we proceed with bigger examples, this will make more sense. Now I want to pass the data in the list item. So the list item is pname. I can create an attribute pname, and inside this we'll have the product dot pname. So this is passed, and I end the component. So if you see, the output is now back as we had it earlier, but again the key is not given. So we can give the key here. I'll say key is equal to the same thing. I'll say product dot id dot toString. Let me just refresh to make sure that there is no warning and no error. So now the code which you see is having the object, that means kind of JSON data which you receive and then you try to display it, to try to manipulate. And the data which we are showing is with the component and props. So this is a little improved architecture of your normal React applications.